The ability to upload product data in bulk via CSV or Excel documents has long been available within MegaEdit. This function is used, for example, to easily populate multiple different business cards without having to manually type in the data for each individual staff member. This functionality has now been incorporated into our Invent plugin as well, allowing you to set up this capability prior to bringing your templates into MegaEdit. In this tutorial, we'll discuss how this is achieved. So what we've got on our screen at the moment is a pre-configured product. We're assuming at this stage that you do already have some knowledge on how to configure your MegaEdit products. So this is things such as creating resources, creating variables, setting up field properties, all that kind of thing. This is just focusing on the additional steps that you'll need to configure the batch functionality. So let's start off by clicking on the Setup tab within Invent, and then going to the Mode sub-tab. On there, you'll see that we have a drop-down, which is the Operation mode. By default, that will be on Single, which is the default behavior of Invent and the classic behavior that you've already seen. And then the other option we have is Batch. And this enables the batch capability and reveals a range of additional settings. So just going down these settings and what they do, first of all, we have batch sources. This allows us to select whether you wish for the users to upload via a CSV, Excel document, or both, if you wish to allow that. Next down, we have mapping. So this specifies whether a field mapping screen appears upon upload of a CSV or Excel data file within MegaEdit. This allows manual specification of the relationship between CSV columns and variable template fields. Disabling this feature will mean that very specific data formats are required. So for example, variables, fields, and CSV columns with identical naming conventions. Next down, we have records, so we can specify the minimum and maximum allowable number of records in a provided data file. Next is validation enabled. So what this means is that records up to a maximum of 1000 from your Excel or CSV document will be validated upon upload. And any invalid records, based on the information and the configuration that you provided, will be rejected. We then have sample download. So enabling this option will mean that an additional button is available within the MegaEdit editor when viewing the actual product. So this will allow users to download a sample version of the required CSV or Excel template with correct column headers and rows of sample entries. This helps to ensure that only relevant data is uploaded and reduces potential problems with incorrect formats. Next, we have the upload button. So it's highly recommended to have this selected. It provides an upload button within MegaEdit, allowing users to select the required data file that they wish to provide information with. The alternative is to handle the upload via scripts, which we do not recommend. Okay, so with those options covered, we're now going to go over to our variables tab. So we're going to look at any special considerations when setting up the variables for our batch mode. So you'll see in my case that I've got a few variables already configured. We can create new variables, of course, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to go in and press edit next to one of my existing variables. And the option I want to draw your attention to here is this controlled by batch source. So this confirms to the variable that it will be controlled by the uploaded batch data and will not appear within the MegaEdit form as a customizable variable. And we'll see this in action a little bit later on. Okay, so next we need to do a little bit of work inside InDesign itself and away from Invent. And this is by navigating to the Layers tab. If you can't see it here, you can activate it from the Windows section at the top. And what we need to do is ensure that our relevant layers, so the text and image fields that we wish to make dynamic, are named identically to the Invent variables that we wish to link them to. So you'll see, for example, I have 3 variables created here: text, number, and image. I need to make sure that the relevant fields on here, which we want to be populated, have the same names. If I go to my Layers tab, click on the relevant field, you'll see that it gives you a little indicator to show which field that is within the Layers tab. And then we can just sort of slow double click on that to rename it, and then make sure it has the relevant name. Once you've completed that, go back to the Invent tab, and now we're going to go to Properties. We need to ensure that our text and image fields are linked to the correct variables. So this is the same as we'd see with any standard Invent product. Just make sure that any of the fields that you want to be linked to a variable have got that required mapping. And this includes images as well. So on the topic of images, images can also be controlled by the batch mode tool. So if you select an image field that you wish to control, we'll take a look at how to configure this functionality. So first off, we'll go to Setup. Click on the Image subtab. But what we're going to do first of all is to make sure that we've got the Show Image Upload area set to automatically, in contrast to the false option. So this option means a tab will be visible within the MegaEdit editor window, allowing users to upload their own imagery into galleries. This does not have to be done here. It's equally possible to enable this later within MegaEdit itself. To utilize images via the batch mode, users will need to upload or have access to images they wish to use within the tab that this creates. And again, we'll see this a little bit later on. Okay, so at this point, we're ready to export our template. That's the same process as you would normally see. So just go to the Export tab, start your validations, fix any problems, and then continue to the export. We're then going to load that into a MegaEdit product and then launch that product. So our product has now been loaded in as a MegaEdit product. And what we can see over on the left-hand side is our Images tab. Now this tab is what is shown when you enable that automatically option. This allows users to actually upload their own images or artwork to use on the actual product itself. So what we've done in this case is we've uploaded a few simple images into a album within our Images tab. Users can do this themselves. They can create multiple albums. And again, this kind of functionality is general MegaEdit functionality that is covered in different tutorials. Your users will utilize the names of these images to draw them into the product via the batch mode. So you do want to make sure that you understand the naming convention of those particular images, and then we'll move on. So the next change from a standard MegaEdit setup that you'll see is this download sample button at the top of the screen. Clicking this will provide you with a simple template document, ensuring that your users provide data in the correct format. So you see there we've got a few columns available from the 3 different variables that we specified, and also with a sample row of data. Now what we want to do now is complete the sample document or modify your existing data to be in this required format. So to do this, I'm just going to switch to one that I've created a little bit earlier on. So there's a few sample entries in here. So ensure the data you enter is in the correct format. For utilizing an image uploaded into your image galleries, ensure you utilize the full image name plus the file type extension. So you can see this one, for example, I have ben.png. I want to make sure that that is in the relevant column in my data file. If your image is contained within the default image gallery, such as these are here, we can see that we can simply put the name such as the image and the extension, so ben.png. If your image is contained within alternate image galleries, which is possible when you start adding additional files in here, you will need to enter that location as part of this field. So for example, it might be gallery, if that's the name of the alternate gallery we've made, / ben.png. Okay, so when this data is ready and we've saved it, then all we need to do is go back to our MegaEdit product and we're going to say import spreadsheet. And of course, our customers are going to be able to do this as well. Select the relevant file, and then we'll see this placeholder mapping screen pop up. So if you selected to enable mapping during the batch mode setup inside Invent itself, you will be presented with a screen to specify how the fields relate to the different CSV columns. So entries with matching names will be paired up automatically, so we can see that it has been done in many of these cases, or all of these cases. However, you can alter them further if they are incorrect. If you didn't enable mapping in Invent, you won't see this screen. Once you're happy, click on OK, and that will map the data. We can see that we have a message box on the top right-hand side in our case showing that it successfully mapped 7 records. If there was a problem with the upload, it might show you some additional prompts here, some additional information, and possible ways to fix it as well. Now, you won't see anything of the imported data inside the main MegaEdit viewer. However, if you go to the preview section up on the top right, you will see those populated documents. So I can see a few sample records. I won't be able to see all of them. So if I go to next record, I'm going to start working my way through the alternate versions of that product.